And it's time for 3 rounds. I am John Pollock, joined here by John Ramdeen. We have one final UFC card to go. It's this Saturday night in Brazil, and they are going to cap things off with a middleweight main event, Lyoto Machida taking on CB Dollaway. We haven't seen Machida since that Chris Weidman loss. Tremendous fight. But CB Dollaway, he's had a really hot streak. You can make the argument this guy has won all of his last 5 fights. He had that Tim Boetsch kind of decision in there that a lot of people thought Dollaway won. But nonetheless, 4 or 5 on his official record. This is a big opportunity for CB Dollaway, but it is Lyoto Machida, and I think he's a favorite for a reason in this fight.
It's true, but you mentioned that, and it was the same kind of feeling I had with Junior Dos Santos and Stipe Miocic. It's like, okay, well, you know how good Junior Dos Santos is, former heavyweight champion, really the top 2 or 3 best heavyweights on the planet. And the same thing goes with Lyoto Machida. We know how good this guy is. But CB Dollaway has this opportunity to go in there and kind of do what Phil Davis did. Use his wrestling abilities, stay on Lyoto Machida, not give him any space, but he has to respect Machida. And the thing about Machida, he still hypnotizes people. People know what they're not supposed to do. They're not supposed to chase this guy. But for some reason, he lulls you into that game, and he manages to catch people. I think if CB Dollaway plays the smart game, just takes his time, he could win this fight. But I mean, it's Lyoto Machida. We also, how capable he is in that fight with Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman, arguably one of the best pound-for-pound guys in the world right now. But Lyoto Machida, always in it. He can go a 25-minute war, and he can finish you at any point. This is one of the most dangerous fighters in the world.
And he's really had this revival, I think, at 185 pounds. I think that he has been able to showcase that against Gegard Mousasi, against Mark Munoz, and a tough fight with Chris Weidman. I think a lot of people going into that fight, they didn't know necessarily what style of fight you were going to get, but certainly not a fight of the year contender, I think, out of Lyoto Machida. I thought he had quite the game plan for Chris Weidman, but unfortunately he was in there with the best middleweight in the world. I think Lyoto Machida, he's not as far away in that middleweight title picture, which you look at some of the top guys, and I include Machida in that mix. It's a pretty fun division when you look at the top of it with the Luke Rockholds, the Jacares.
Give me that fight. Give me Luke Rockhold and Lyoto Machida. I know we always have to talk about the title picture, but just think about it from a stylistic standpoint, how these guys match up against each other. Luke Rockhold, long and rangy and really athletic. Lyoto Machida, one of the smartest fighters, I think, on the planet. And you look, even though he's getting up there in age, it's like a Randy Couture situation where he really is becoming smarter the longer he gets inside of the octagon. I think when it's all said and done, Lyoto Machida will be recognized as one of the most intelligent fighters to ever fight this game.
We also have Barao returning to action for the first time since May, when he lost the fight to TJ Dillashaw, taking on Mitch Gagnon. Certainly the odds are going to tell you that it was
like 10-1 at one point.
Huge discrepancy.
That's insane. Come on.
Why does Mitch Gagnon have an opportunity to win this fight? What stands out for you?
Because it's mixed martial arts, and we've seen in the past that no matter what, you can never count somebody out. How many people gave Gabriel Gonzaga a chance against Mirko Krokop, let alone to use his own weapon against him? It's just part of mixed martial arts history, and I think, what's cool about the game is, you can be fast, you can be athletic, you can be strong, and if Barao kind of, buys into his own game that loss to TJ Dillashaw was just about him getting hurt early and that he wasn't able to recover and maybe hasn't changed some things, I think Mitch Gagnon could catch him. I mean, that's the reality of things. What most people expect to happen is Barao's a guy that beat Uriah Faber, beat Eddie Wineland, has beat some of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. And would I be surprised if he beat Mitch Gagnon? Of course not.
I always love these styles of fights because it really shows you what this underdog is capable at his height.
Yeah.
In traditional sports, you'll sometimes just see, big discrepancies of a talented team against a not so talented team, and you might get those blowouts. In fighting, it's so different because if I'm fighting #1 ranked John Ramdeen, I'm thinking if I don't take this seriously, I'm fighting the best guy in the world. Every day I'm going to the gym, and if I am not training to be my absolute best, I am going to get hurt by this man. And I think with Mitch Gagnon, this is the biggest opportunity of his career.
He knows
and
that, yeah.
We've seen that so many times when a huge underdog comes in and we see the best performance of his career because he knows it's it's the biggest opportunity of his life, and that's what fuels an entire training camp. And conversely, Renan Barao, a lot of issues with this guy. Is he going to make weight for this fight? Is he coming back too soon after that issue back in August when he had to pull out of the rematch with
Now, he's seen some of the things I've seen from him. It's like it was just a situation, you know, during the weight cut. He said it's not going to happen again. He's fighting in his own backyard. Everything is going to be perfect for him because he knows, he in his mind believes that he should get another shot at TJ Dillashaw, and he will once again become the 135-pound champion.
I think it makes for a very interesting fight on Saturday night.
Eric Silva. Eric Silva's going to steal the show.
Taking on Mike Rhodes on that show. When we come back, we've got the viral video. It's a cavalcade of stupidness this week when the show continues.
Oh, shit!